Hello, world, universe. I believe it's been about 5 weeks instead of 4 weeks. Last week was the week I skipped was Thanksgiving, and oh my goodness, it was a week of highs and lows. Highs for the fact that we had family in town. That was my brother-in-law and his sister came to stay with us. And it was amazing. And they surprised our youngest daughter. She got to see her cousin. And it was just amazing. The lows was, it was a really, really, really exhausting mental, emotional, physical, spiritual week for me at work, and it just kept snowballing for me throughout the whole week. But I did not have time to do a video last week, and I probably wouldn't have been in a very good space to make a video last week. So yeah, we just skipped a week and it was fine. On that note of challenging work circumstances, I just want to say that the people that you work with can really make the difference, because there's always going to be challenging periods, challenging times at work, feelings like you're on a sinking ship. And if you have at least one person that you work with that will support you and be there and make you feel that you're not going to sink and that you're not alone, and they're gonna, help you in the ways that they can, it can make all the difference. And I was just very thankful that after that week, I realized that I do have support, and I do have a great team that is not going to let me feel like I am sinking on a ship by myself. So that it was a really rough week, but it ended on a good note, and my heart had peace, and I was thankful. It is December 7th, I believe. That's the Christmas tree. I'm inside this morning, so I took the kids to school, and then I was just not ready to exist outside of my bed yet. So I usually, make a little coffee and just kind of plan the day, but this morning, and I know we've all had those mornings where I was like, nope, going back to bed. I went back to bed. I slept for 3 hours and it was beautiful. So it's about 12 o'clock and I'm having my morning little cup of coffee. I am caffeine sensitive, so I love my little cup of coffee, and it's literally a little cup of coffee. In order to make sure I don't drink too much, you can't really probably tell, but it's like a little mini size cup, and I drink one of these every day before 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Before I started the video, I wanted to think about, I kind of had a challenge with relaying and describing what self-actualization meant for me on the last video, and it's such a beautiful and important thing that I wanted to talk about it again just for a few minutes. Self-actualization, and again, I think everyone's going to interpret it in their own way. It's the top of that pyramid, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I first learned in nursing school. And if you've taken any kind of, psychology or probably sociology type classes, you'll have come across it. And it's just basic needs that need to be met in order for us to be able to reach the next one. I didn't double check before doing this video, so I'm just gonna kind of go off what I think they are. I may not be correct, so that's okay. The first one, it's just basic needs, I believe, to sustain life. Food, water, shelter, that everybody needs. These needs have to be met first before any other needs are met. Food, water, shelter. The second one, hold on a second. I know I'm missing one, and it's gonna bother me. I know I'm missing one, and it's okay. So I'm just gonna continue. Another step is safety. Yes, that may be the next one. It's safety. We need to feel safe. We need to feel secure. Obviously, that's a very, important, we need our circumstances, where we're at, maybe the people that are taking care of us. We need to feel safe. And the next one is love and belonging, I believe. And all humans need these needs to be met. And we need the first one's the lowest one in the pyramid to be met before we can realize or achieve the second one. So we have the, food, water, shelter, safety and security. Next one is love and belonging. We need to feel loved. We need to feel like we belong. The people that we want to feel love from, we want them to love us unconditionally for who we are. And the next one is self-esteem. We need to feel like we have a sense of self-worth. And I know I hear a lot about we need to be confident, you need to act confident, or he or she's just not confident, and we associate that with self-esteem. And I feel that the linked with self-esteem is a word that I'm starting to hear a lot more, but I feel like it's the roots. It's kind of the self-esteem and confidence are the branches, and this is the trunk that kind of holds everything together, and that's self-worth. Self-worth is knowing that we have value and we matter. Our feelings matter. Our needs are important. No matter our circumstances, no matter, and self-worth, the key here is it's unchanging. So no matter what happens around us, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, no matter their behavior towards us, that our self-worth is unchanging, and it will always be there. And we have importance, and we have value, and we matter. And self-worth is something that it can be shaped from a very young age, going the right direction, and it can be shaped from a very young age going the wrong direction. And when we grow up, especially from a young age, not having self-worth, or not knowing that, that we matter, that we are precious, that we are loved, it can lead to a lot of, challenges in life that we carry with us into adults. So yes, that's a whole nother video. I could speak about self-worth. I'll just, note this: at almost 40 years old, was when I realized my self-worth. Yep. And that kind of opened the door for me to learn a lot about myself and the things that I've been through. And so self-esteem is that fourth one. So we have food, water, shelter, safety, security, love and belonging, and self-esteem. And the next one, the top of the pyramid, is self-actualization. A lot of people, to no fault of their own, it's just their circumstances, and kind of the life that they had. Throughout their entire lifespan, they will never reach self-actualization. They may be stuck in the fourth one, which is self-esteem. Kind of always having that challenge, that struggle to find a sense of self-esteem, and may use negative coping mechanisms, relational issues with other people, trying to establish their self-worth and their self-esteem, and they may be stuck there, throughout their entire lifespan. Some may be stuck in love and belonging, just that need to be loved, for who they truly are. And sadly, there are people in the world that will be stuck at some of the other ones. They don't feel safe. They're struggling, for just kind of the basic needs in life, which is, it's just a very, very, very sad, thing. But once those needs are met, it kind of opens the door to jump to the next need. I feel that a lot of my life, I may have been kind of bouncing between 3 and 4, love and belonging, and trying to achieve a sense of self-esteem and self-worth. And I just believe I kind of been bouncing, back through those most of my life. I feel in the past few years, thanks to some great therapy and some, self-work on myself over the past few years, and it doesn't stop. It continues. We continue to evolve and change and grow and learn about ourselves as we, go through life. But I feel like I have been starting to, and there are times when I go back to the, trying to realize, validate my self-worth and make sure that that's there, check in with myself. Okay, remember the things I need to remember. But I feel like I truly am loved. I belong where I'm at and to the people that matter. And I feel like I have realized my self-worth, and it's unchanging. And, other things people may do may hurt sometimes, but that won't change my self-worth. And therefore my self-esteem is, it's at a good place with myself. And I feel that I have started to be able to open the door to that final stage on top of the pyramid, which is self-actualization. After that long description of the pyramid, back to self-actualization. You can, Google the definition of it, but I just wanted to think about it in my own words. And what it meant for me is that I feel that self-actualization is discovering a purpose in life that is maybe greater than myself. So, for instance, greater than kind of the day-to-day life, the day-to-day interactions. It's almost like there's this door. I picture this door with this beautiful golden light through it. And my goal and my path in life is to slowly always be taking steps towards that door with that light. And it's going to be different for everybody. finding a purpose that's greater than just ourselves and our needs, but finding something that we can do with our life that fills a space, that meets a need that's greater than our own needs. And I feel that it can be something, people may be driven towards something, on with a bigger title, for instance, more noticed type of plane. Like somebody may feel that they are called to, be on the have a Supreme Court seat one day, or maybe they're being pulled towards in their life being considered to be Pope one day. That may be what they see for themselves, and something that's greater than themselves. But I also feel that self-actualization can be something just as powerful and meaningful, and it could be as having compassion for people. Having compassion for people. I heard somewhere, and I feel this is so true, that having compassion is kind of a higher state of mankind that shows that man is evolving. When humans are evolving, intellectually, emotionally, they are able to easier have compassion for others. Whereas if they haven't quite evolved to their highest potential mentally, emotionally, they may be kind of stuck more in that basic survival mode that our ancestors long ago needed to survive, to fear others, to be at war with each other, to find reasons to hate somebody or blame somebody. And as we evolve, and also I think this, having the opportunity to progress on the pyramid of the hierarchy of needs, it allows for a greater understanding and empathy and compassion for others that a lot of people won't never have in their entire lives. So something as simple as achieving the ability to have compassion for others, to have empathy in our everyday interactions with other people. I don't feel it has to be anything on a grand scale, but just being able to before we speak to another person, just be able to have compassion for their existence and what they've been through, and just to be kind. And I think that it's strong. It takes a very strong person to be able to have compassion and to be kind. Self-actualization, for me, I feel a pull towards something greater than myself and my needs, to help others in my realization at such a late age in life of realizing my own self-worth, and realizing how many other people, kids, teens, adults, older people that don't know their self-worth and that never truly have. And I just want to be that somebody, and I say this, if I could help one person in the way that I've been helped, then it would all be worth it. I've been a nurse for over 10 years, and I've worked in all kinds of different places with all kinds of different people, and from varying backgrounds, and it has helped me grow a lot as a person. But I feel it's not what ultimately, the only kind of field I want to work in. I hope to go into social work, maybe counseling one day. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just kind of doing the things that I need to do, taking the steps, for me towards that door with that light that is calling me. And I want to work with kind of the the populations in society that I feel are often overlooked, and that I feel like need a lot of support. People of lower socioeconomic backgrounds, people who might be on the line of people who are just struggling and have life challenges. And I want to kind of be there to let them know that no matter how life has turned out for them, that they matter and that they are worthy. And I want them to feel, I want to help, for people to feel empowered with what they've been through in life, and let them know that what they've been through is not a weakness or something to be ashamed of, but it's something that can empower them. The most powerful thing the greatest thing, and is that I was ever so far told in therapy was, it was over the phone session with this therapist who was out of state, and it was the very first session with her, and I had been going through a very difficult time. I was dealing with a lot of depression. I just felt kind of the bottom of the bottom. I just felt horrible about myself, and I didn't know if things were going to get better for me, and I was just feeling terrible all around. Anyways, I spoke to her on the phone. I kind of told her the gist of kind of how I feel now, the gist of my background, what I'd been through as a child, and just kind of my little summary that I have told people before, and it's just kind of a quick little narrative. And her response was so simple, but to this day it was so powerful. And she said, "You are doing great. You are doing great." And when she said that, I was, what? What? Like, I just told you about all these things, and you think I'm doing great? And the way she said it, I felt it for the first time in my life. Like, and especially in a time when I felt so low, and I shared things about my past that I've always, I think, been ashamed of. And for someone to tell me, no, those experiences and what you've been through currently, you are doing great. You are doing great. And I think for the first time in my life, I felt that, oh, I am doing great. I felt good about myself. I felt really good about myself. And that was so, so powerful. And I hope to one day be able to, help somebody else realize for themselves that feeling. And I feel like it's a very spiritual thing. It's going to come. Had I been told that in my teens or my 20s, it may not have had the impact that it had when I was, had that happen. And it's going to be different for everybody. And so that's, for me, my self-actualization. I hope to be able to help people feel better about themselves, empower people despite their circumstances and what they've been through, and let them know that what they've been through, it makes them stronger, and it makes us learn. And there's really so much more that I have gotten, through my own experiences in therapy, as well as an intensive workshop I did, that I may sprinkle in videos here and there because it's pretty heavy stuff, it's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, I won't, I won't go off on that too often just because I love talking about it, but it's pretty heavy stuff. So that's my kind of more in-depth talk about self-actualization. And I remember when I was in nursing school, when I first was learning about the Maslow's pyramid hierarchy of needs, I recognized pretty having that I was, in between 3 and 4, in between feeling loved and, having self-esteem. And I just thought, yes, that top one, self-actualization, that would be nice, but that's like for some, that would probably never occur for me. And it wasn't until almost probably 8 years later, that it did. And I think when it does, you'll know it, you'll just feel it. Goals for this month. I'm still working on my goal for last month, and again, it's something that's an ongoing thing. It's never like a one and done quick thing, but responding before I react. And it does help me to put this out there in a video, kind of just putting it out in the universe. It does help keep me accountable, and that's something that I am continuing to work on. I was in my bedroom and I heard my kids yelling about something, and of course my instinct is to kind of yell what's going on? And before I stepped out of the room, I just, in my head, I was like, respond, don't react, respond. And another thing that kind of goes along with that is reminding myself that I am the adult and they are the kids. And because I think children react, right? They react to everything. And adults, we are supposed to respond. We're supposed to be able to have that emotional regulation to respond to situations. So little things I tell myself, and it's something that it's a practice. It's a lifelong practice. So that's something that's going to continue. Something for this month I would like to do, which is, and I think this was one of my goals previously, was just, I want to wake up a little bit earlier. And I really think I'm going to have to take baby steps with this one, because it is a challenge for me, but it's something that I want to work on, and I want to try to, for so many reasons, and I think I spoke about them in previous videos, but just to kind of start my day better, and for myself as well as my kids. And I want to work on that. Instead of sleeping till the last possible minute, maybe baby steps could be, okay, this morning my goal is to not hit snooze and to actually get up. And then maybe I don't have anything set that I'm actually going to do. I'm just going to be like, hey, just get up, just wake up, just kind of, wake the house up. And then maybe each time I'll, after I get comfortable with that and that it gets doable, I'll maybe set it a little bit earlier. Maybe I'll do something specific. Maybe I'll do a short workout or make the kids lunches. So that's my goals for the month. I really enjoy making these videos, and again, it's not, I really don't think many people are going to watch them, and that is okay. It's really for me, and it helps keep me accountable in my head, just saying this and putting this out there in the universe. It's helpful, and I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about things. So yeah. Merry Christmas. The next video I make will be in 2026. Okay. Bye.